Rachel.
I am Dr. L.
And I am Sophia.
What's up, yo?
I'm tired. I'm here today. I'm so glad that it is you with the topic today. Like, my son graduated from 8th grade yesterday.
Yay!
Like we said, the last episodes, we celebrate life for anything. Kindergarten, 3rd grade, 7th grade. So 8th grade, we did dinner. Family came back to the house for cake and, as EJ say, champagne. Ma, you had a little champagne. So we definitely did. Y'all know I got a blended family. So his mom, stepdad, his brother, who's the same age as Z, like my house was packed, and we hung out till about 11 on a weekday and was watching the game, and it was a lot.
Who won the game last night?
Denver.
Oh, okay. Let's see if
my betting app wasn't coming up because I made a little bit of chicken last game, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna bet again. It was kicking me off, which is good because I was going for Miami. Like, oh, Miami's home. They gonna go dumb. It's their first game home. Like, and
it's something happening with those betting apps though, because somebody was telling me like they look like, you know, they went with the odds and then all of a sudden they bet was gone.
Yeah.
After Miami won the other night.
I couldn't even get in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, oh, you gotta go with Miami. They home tonight. Hopefully tomorrow will be better for them home. But yeah, so I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm tired. I didn't even put a little edge control on.
It's okay though, because you got little wispy edges, and you know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's working for you. It's working. Good. It's working for you.
And you had a birthday a few days ago.
I did.
I was excited. You feeling good? Older? What are you feeling?
I've been telling people that I'm kind of tired too. And you know what? We never talk about my blended family.
We or you?
Maybe because I don't consider it a blended family.
Okay.
I just have an extra kid.
Who is baby?
Yes,
she's
with
not
journeys.
Even a baby.
She's not, and so it's so crazy when you just said you're tired. And she had prom followed by high school graduation, mind you, and she just decided to do this early, and it really has like taken full storm. But and then my birthday, and then next week is her birthday, and you know how we talk ourselves, and we say shit, and we like say shit, and then we gotta follow through with it. So I was like, yeah, baby, we celebrating all summer, right? And she is not. Oh no, she's wearing me down like reservations, and this is the dress code. I'm like, okay, here we go. Every week she's had me. So anywho, I'm getting tired too. But yeah, I'm going with Remy Ma, and I'm subtracting 3 years off my life because of COVID. So I'm 38.
Okay, I thought you was going to say jail time and COVID. Because I'm like, you don't got no jail time. You cannot keep deducting years.
But if you could deduct COVID in jail time, I think you could deduct being pregnant.
I'll give you that.
That's a bid.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I remember not even being able to celebrate my 25th birthday. And then they kind of like, we did it for 26.
I remember. Yeah. It was so drunk. It was terrible.
Yeah, but 25. So yeah, I'll take that. So COVID plus 2 pregnancies. Oh, I'm 37 or 36. Not 30. Yeah, that part. Exactly.
Oh, I think you only can deduct the pregnancy that was a surprise. So you don't get to.
A surprise? That's not fair. Now you adding shit to the thing. Like, yo, let me get my 5 whole years. So with that being said, I'm 36 actually.
So with that being said though, I feel good. It was a very low key celebration day, which is, you know, kind of how I like it. I take two moments to just apologize on behalf of the Geminis for the rest of June. Why you just do that?
I'm sorry. Because it's like, when you said that, I thought about like us as Blacks waiting for like reparations. And I feel like here we are waiting for our 30 acres and a mule. Gemini should be next to like, give us reparation for however many years you've been in our lives. That's what just came to me. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for that download. But I'm sorry, please continue. That's really just what popped up.
So you said what you said, so you can't piggyback off anything else I say, because I know you're going to want to jump on what I'm saying.
That's why I'm going
So I'm apologizing because, and I've been listening to clients who are connected to Geminis, and they just get so frustrated because it's like, I'm asking y'all, like, what do they want to do for their birthday? And I said, one thing about us is that the problem is that we don't know how we're going to feel the day of, right? We don't know. We just don't know, right? And so we're not like Capricorns and Virgos who they know ahead of time what it is they want. Well, Capricorns know what they want to do. Virgos say what they want to do, and then they change their mind at the last minute.
Well said.
But it's almost like we got to go with like the feeling. Yeah. And sometimes what that ends up looking like is it ends up look like we're making last minute demands, or we're changing up, or even in some situations. I remember one year, you can't piggyback on this. Okay. One year, my friends, remember y'all took me to one of them Italian restaurants we like downtown.
Right on Della Noce.
It was Della Noce's. Right, and I was so pissy that day. Like, my mood was pissy, and I was like not nice that day. But it was like so many people there to like just celebrate. I don't even know what year it was. And I felt bad. So it's just hard. It's just really hard. But the day ended up being really good.
What's the apology though?
I just apologize that we just can't commit to anything.
Got you.
And then we know.
So just be on standby, like, for them. Like, leave the day open, possibly.
No, you don't have to leave it open. Okay. You don't have to leave it open, but just say, you can say I'm here if you want to include me.
So leave the day open, because God forbid you say that, and then that day they say, oh, good, I want to do crabs, come to my house. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to Ocean City. And they will be pissed because you said, I'm available if you change your mind.
It's just hard. I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry. But Journey had her dance performance.
That was dope. I haven't been in a couple years too, so it was good to see her again.
My kid is just getting so big, and like I was telling Sophia, like I sat through 2 shows, and the first show, she opened the show and I couldn't find her because I wasn't looking for this teeny bopper. I was looking for, and mind you, I dressed her, I put her makeup on, wake up with her, and I couldn't find her on the stage. And I'm like, what's happening here? And so, that's the only thing I'm kind of been in my feelings about. Like, this kid is, she growing up.
Yeah.
It's a bit much.
She bodied that African one. It's funny that she said she heard my voice because I was trying to just strain myself. I was like, oh, girl, let's go.
That's a whole other thing, is just speaking about, your village. Like, we have to have a whole episode about that, because I have to tell y'all, Journey had all of these flowers, and most of the time after the shows, everybody who's there, they wait for her and they give her a hug and they give her flowers and such. And so I'm telling her who all her flowers are from, and she's like, just very flippantly, she's like, where's the flower Soph gave me? Mind you, she did not see Soph at the show because Soph dipped out probably 5 minutes early, right? And so she's like, and I'm like, what you mean? She was like, I know I heard Soph's voice when I was doing my African dance. Where's the flower she got me? And I'm like, well, she was there, but she didn't get you no flowers. She was just appalled. Like, I know I heard her voice. Mind you, this auditorium is huge.
Yeah. And I did it because I didn't want to be late. I just did not want to be late, so I did it. And times that I haven't been there, I've sent her money like, hey, can you go get flowers?
I'm
and she like, what? Like, all the stuff I'm ripping and running? I'm like, well, I sent $30 already to get you some good flowers.
Not doing it.
What you got today? You definitely got the topic.
We got the topic. And so today we chit-chatting about the irony related to self-sabotage.
I use that word at least 5 to 10 times a week.
And what? Tell me describe to me. You usually have the definition. I got a definition today. What's self-sabotage? And how would you succinctly describe self-sabotage?
So for me, self-sabotage is one, sometimes done consciously, a lot of times unconsciously.
Okay.
Right? So it's when we use that word, people sometimes are not even aware that they are self-sabotaging. But I would say that it's feelings, thoughts, behaviors that we do or put out there that can hinder what we truly want or what we say we want. So it could be picking things apart in this relationship, like, oh, he didn't call back and he's late, and just kind of looking for evidence to say, this is why I don't date, or this is why I'm in relationships abruptly because people are not consistent, so it's a pattern of thoughts, of course, that leads to actions that, like I said, either hinder or get in the way of something that you say you want.
Okay. And that's where the irony is that you say you want something, but your behavior might suggest otherwise. Yeah. And so self-sabotage, it's rooted in counterproductive mindsets that show up as negativity, disorganization, indecisiveness, and negative self-talk.
I like the word counterproductive. That sums up exactly what I was trying to say in one word.
It's counterproductive.
Exactly.
You said sometimes it is conscious, sometimes it's unconscious. This piece that I was reading said it's mindless distractions that prohibit goal attainment. So the mindless piece is the piece where it's like something we don't even think about, right? You ever hear somebody say, you were saying like, oh, and they didn't call me back, blocked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna block you because
I called you 3 times and you haven't called back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's oftentimes the underbelly of self-sabotage is self-preservation. And that's where the irony comes into play for me, is sabotage is destruction, picking apart, dismantling, whereas preservation is keeping it together, making sure that things stay intact. How the hell can a behavior that is destructive keep us together?
Yeah. So that's what, it's not the irony for me, because the self-preservation, the person, you feel like you are protecting yourself. I'm going to end this relationship because I don't want to deal with the drama. I already feel like I could see the pattern, how this is going to go. You're not consistent. You're not respecting my boundaries. You're not doing these things. So the self-preservation piece is, let me get out now. Let me avoid this risk. And it's the thing that when I talk about this in sessions or even in my own self-talk, because I counsel me at times, right? But I'll say, are you really protecting yourself? The conscious part is, I am protecting myself. I want to avoid these things. So this negative self-talk, all these negative patterns of thinking is telling me you have to choose you. That's it. The unconscious part is not realizing that I like this person, or I like this situation, or I do really care, but
that you don't know.
That part, right? So to me,
you don't even know if you need to be. So if it's raining, if there's a fucking thunderstorm before you open your door, it is evident that you need protective gear.
Exactly.
Right? So you need to put your protective gear on and take it with you. Right? Today is June 8th. we do not need to protect ourselves from a fucking snowstorm today.
Exactly. So
right?
the underbelly, and you may get to this, but the underbelly of self-sabotaging is, yes, the self-preservation, but underneath that is fear.
Absolutely.
That's really what the root is. Because I was in this horrific thunderstorm before, I'm wearing gear every day. I don't give a fuck if you're telling me it's June 8th and there's no storms approaching. Because of that storm that I went through 2 years ago, I am so fearful that it may storm again. So I'm just going to keep wearing this fucking rain jacket and my hunter boots every day because I'm fearful. And the sabotaging comes from, previous experiences that the outcome wasn't ideal.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going far.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. So, putting you on the hot seat.
Oh.
In what area do you find yourself engaging in self-sabotage the most? And it may not be currently, but as an aware person, what have you found yourself to be most likely to self-sabotage in?
Relationships. Could answer that fast. Love. Anything
really?
That's a matter of the heart for me, I'm out. I feel like I'm getting too close and not feeling that it's reciprocated. You're not sweating me as a friend, as a man, as a child. But it's like, that is the area where it shows up for me. And I've caught it. Like, oh, you on one today, huh? Yeah. So it's a matters of the heart.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'll see if your answer changes.
Okay.
I'll see if your answer changes.
Are you going to answer or is like...
Are you counter asking?
Yeah, like...
Well, I can't really answer because I know the categories.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Right? But as we go through, I'll let you guys know where I feel like so there are 9 self-sabotaging personalities.
I love when I'm learning. I so
right?
do.
So, some of the first ones are the easier ones. You have the procrastinator. And so as we go along, I want y'all to be honest with yourselves and think, where do I fit when it comes to self-sabotaging? And this is something we all do. We all have done it. Like Sophia said, it is a way that we protect ourselves. So we have done it. Don't act like you haven't. We all, it's safe ground here, right?
It's a safe environment.
So you have the procrastinator. You have the person who just, they just wait. The thing about the procrastinator is that they do eventually get the thing done, but they often waste a lot of time and spend a lot of energy in unproductive spaces, right? And so why would somebody be a procrastinator? Why would that show up as self-sabotaging? Well, what happens when you procrastinate? You may fall short on how you deliver. Like, think about it. If you're preparing for a big presentation of some sort and you wait to the last minute, and we fool ourselves and we tell ourselves, oh, I operate better under pressure.
We used to say that in college.
We used to say that.
I don't adhere to that notion anymore. And I do feel like I can be effective at the end, but it's exhausting. So I don't even try to hold that up anymore. Like, oh, we studied the night before and banged out an A. That ain't bragging rights to me anymore.
We have grown up.
Yeah, because I used to thrive off of that, almost to even see if I still will pull off an A.
Yo, the crazy thing is, so I don't even think I told you, Journey had this project to do in music, and she was doing her project on Halle Bailey. Right? She's like, oh, I got 2 weeks. And I just like randomly kept asking her, like, you've been working on your project? And she like, yeah. Kept saying like, yeah. Right? So it's like, one evening I'm running to IKEA. Running to IKEA feels like driving to New York to me, right? Because it's way on the other side of town. And I was like, you been working on your project? This is on the way to IKEA. Oh yeah, that's why I brought my iPad with me. I don't hear all I hear in my backseat is bullshit coming off of YouTube and TikTok, right? That's a Wednesday. Thursday, I was like, you finished your project? It was due Friday. This is Thursday. This is about 8:30 at night. Oh. Right? And she like, look at me with the dumb face. Right? Dumb ass face. And you know what I said? Because I can go sick. I can go real psycho when it comes to stuff like that. I said, please just make sure you go to bed by 10 o'clock. Her bedtime's 9:30. I said, do whatever you're going to do about this project. Just go to bed at 10 o'clock. I left and I did not address it again. I wake up in the morning, sis at the fucking table, like, right? Sends it to me. She in the kitchen like TikToking. And now life is good. Shit was amazing. And I couldn't tell her. I'm like, I'm not telling her this. I'm not telling her that this behavior is okay. Procrastination is not okay. I'm not telling you it's good. I'm not telling you did a good job. I acted like I didn't even see that she sent me it to proofread. I left it alone, right? But you run the risk of falling short when you procrastinate.
You really do.
Right? You run the risk of missing out on opportunities. And so, yes, let's stop telling ourselves that, we operate better under pressure because that's just not, it's not a good space to be in.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's just not, it's not loving to the body. It's just not productive. Yes, you complete the task, but at what cost?
At what cost?
That's the biggest
thing.
At
what cost?
Yes, I would study the night before, up 3-4 o'clock in the morning to turn a paper in or take this exam at 9, come back and I'm crashing, and then I'm not even fit to interact with people because I'm groggy, I'm nasty. So yes, I got the A, but at what cost?
At what cost?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't see procrastination as self-sabotaging, and I'm not sure why, because it very much is.
And what you just said, I think we think of it in terms of, did we sabotage the thing that we procrastinated about?
Exactly.
And maybe not, right? Maybe you still were successful in this presentation you were creating, but now you being nasty. Now you started an argument with your guy, and now, y'all not talking or whatever the case is. You have in some type of way been counterproductive to yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we have person number 2, the overthinker. Right? The overthinker, thoughts become very extreme and they're always in a line of negative thinking. And as you engage in more negative thinking, you strip yourself of your confidence and you create a lot of self-doubt. And so then what ends up happening to me, I think it contributes to procrastination because then you sit and you're not moving. Yeah. You're not making a decision. You're not being active. You're being a bystander in your life.
In your own life.
Right? Yeah. Overthinkers are hard.
Yeah. So I guess my answer is changing already because I am an overthinker. And more times than not, when I do overthink, sometimes that leads to very rash or impulsive decision making, which can
really,
because it's like I need to move fast now. Like I need to kind of get this out. So either I'm going to end this, do this. Like I just don't like getting stuck there. So I could get impulsive then. It's like, okay, well, just go get it now, do this. And then that may still lead to some self-sabotaging because of the money I spent or this or that. It does affect me.
So that's interesting you say that because oftentimes what happens with the overthinker is decision paralysis.
That happens. It could be one or think about the spectrum, right? So it's like one could be there or the other. I will fall to the other end.
And so decision paralysis is you just don't make the decision. And then you miss out.
You neglect what it was that you just should have been doing. And then that turns into that negative talk because now you feel defeated.
more guilt.
Exactly.
Because
more,
you didn't perform.
Exactly.
It's a hell of a hamster wheel.
It's definitely a lot of shame and guilt that comes up.
Right.
And then that leads you to now doubt yourself, or this level of mistrust with self. So the next decision that is needed to be made, or the task to be done, you're scared to move with that one. And it just continues.
Okay. So we got the procrastinator, we have the overthinker, we have the assumer. I don't like the assumer.
My husband probably would say I'm an assumer. He'd be like, you just know what I'm thinking, huh?
No. Not in that sense. The assumer and the self-sabotaging, they basically is predicting the future. And they're saying what's going to happen. Oh, well, I'm not going to do this because probably what's going to happen is I cannot go toe-to-toe with the assumer.
Yeah.
Because they be real strong in their thinking. Yeah. Like really, really strong. And they know. And I'm like, so how you know this is going to happen? And that's all I'll keep saying is, so how do you know this is going to happen?
Yeah.
Because what else is going to happen?
Yeah.
Like, what you mean?
Exactly. Yeah, so
what else is going to happen?
He still
like,
will say that. He still,
really?
Even after you broke it down, there will be things that I'm like, yeah, because Friday you're not going to, and he like, because you know what I'm thinking, you know what I'm doing. I forgot that you just a mind reader. And I feel like he's the only person who, and I usually say it's never just one person. So it's probably not. I probably do it to my mother too. Like, she gonna act the fool here. And it's like, and it's sad because psychology kind of did that too, right? By convincing us that, past behaviors are future predictors.
Yes.
And
sometimes.
Exactly, right? But I have to counter that because that's not,
always
human behavior is not science like that. Like, like numbers. 1 + 1 is always going to equal what it's going to equal. That's not the same with us as human beings. So even to say past behaviors are future predictors, that's not fair. I have a client who, she's not a psychologist, but I call her junior therapist because she's taken so many psychology classes. And she will say, well, psychology teaches us that, so if a person cheat before, that's just what, and I'm like, that's not reality.
It's not the case.
That's not the case. I hear what you say, and it does give you sometimes an idea, but that means if we saying that people don't change and evolve and grow, that's not fair. So yeah.
The thing that gets me about the assumer too is oftentimes when the assumer takes a risk, so it's like, oh yeah, all right, fine. I'm not gonna assume that this person is a cheater, and then person cheats 20 years later. I knew it. I should have stuck to my instinct. And I was sitting there, and I told you, and it's like, you didn't predict. Yeah. You did not predict the future. Exactly. Like if what you said didn't happen immediately, no.
The assumer is really just rooted in their past. Anytime I have a client,
that's a very, very good note.
Yeah, they can't shake the past, which is why they are trying so hard to predict what's going to happen next, because all of these feelings of I should have, those irrational beliefs comes up with the assumer. I should have known better. I should have saw that. I should have caught that earlier. The should-haves. Just shouldn't on themselves, right? And it's just like, you won't catch me slipping again. So I'm assuming that this is going to happen at this job. I'm assuming that this is going to happen in this relationship. I'm assuming this is going to be my financial situation because you will never put me in a predicament where I should have seen this coming.
And so I think the additional counterproductive thing is that something that you said is they are stuck in the past. And as I'm like kind of going through my Rolodex, it's not always their past.
Yes.
Right?
It could be vicarious.
And so it's almost like attaching themselves to what they saw manifest in someone else's life.
And we know, like, I'll use trauma for the sake of this, but we know vicarious trauma is real,
Absolutely.
Right? So it's like, yes, thank you for clarifying that, because it could very well be personal. I mean, it's still personal to them anyway, but directly or just observed it.
Absolutely.
And that stained them one way or another. So yeah.
And so what that just made me think about is, having worked in child welfare for so long, I often say like that vicarious trauma of seeing what happens to children has led me to be sometimes self-sabotaging as it pertains to me wanting to like protect my kid because of what I've seen happen to other people. Not that it's happened to me, but it's like, oh no, I'm not aggressively dating because I don't want to. I've seen situations where, and so that's a good one. Then we have the avoider. And I lied. I think the avoider is more frustrating to me than the assumer. Right? Because the avoider
they don't want to try shit. They don't want to deal with anything.
Oh my gosh, they are annoying as hell. Like, nah, I'm not doing that because, and sometimes they won't even be verbal about not doing it. They just not doing it.
Exactly. Because once they become verbal, they really look like the assumer. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's usually the nonverbal that keeps them in the avoidance. But once they say it, they avoiding it because they're assuming what's going to happen.
So many of these like connect,
of course,
right? And so, I'm gonna skip down to the last one to tie it into the avoider.
Okay, because that's 4, right?
That's 4.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tie in the perfectionist.
Oh.
Right?
Stop looking at me.
I'm gonna tie in the perfectionist because the perfectionist and the avoider and the procrastinator, sometimes they intertwine and they cross attach. Exactly. Cross attach to each other, in that sometimes the avoider to me presents as, oh, I got it all together, I'm good. You're not good because you're just staying in this safe little bubble to maintain this image. And if you staying in this bubble to maintain this image, whether it's your image or the image that you want other people to see, you are still being counterproductive to an ultimate goal, right? You're holding yourself back. You're keeping yourself from something. The perfectionist, the avoider, the assumer, taking risk is just not the thing that they want to do. And if we speak about this in extremities, and we think about people like Walt Disney and Bill Gates, they had to take an extreme risk to blow up. In the way that they have. Kind of self-sabotaging.
I felt that. I said to a client yesterday who's working on perfectionism, and I said, listen, I too know what it feels like to be there. I'm in recovery. That's how I look at my perfectionism, because I'm very aware that it'll never go away. I'm clear about that. Okay. And I'm okay with that. That's the perfectionism being released, right? I started this whole workshop, or a series of workshops of no longer chasing perfection, learning how to walk in excellence, right? So I had to acknowledge the fact that is always going to be a part of me, but I just have to learn how to maintain it, because a lot of times it leads to that self-sabotage and just trying to make sure everything
looks a certain way.
Exactly. That it's just as perfect as, but then the funny thing is I would say or make comments like, chasing perfection is no such thing. It's like, chasing this ghost or this or that, but still like chasing it. So, I'm in recovery. So I felt that I'm clear about it. The awareness keeps me on point with it, because soon as I could tell, even with my children, there's times they could walk in the house before I even say hello and greet them. It's like, why you look so dirty? Like, why your lips look dry? You had a whole big canister of like, why you just, and it's like, well, say hello first. Hi, how are you? So it's like small things that I'll catch and I'll see it. And it's like, okay, bring it in. What's happening? Because perfection is really rooted in insecurity and fear. You know, this control, it's like a 3 triangle kind of thing. It's like fear, control, and some insecurity, right? So it's like I'm striving for this to be perfect because sometimes some insecurity comes up about parenting or whatever it may be, right? So I kind of go back and say, what's the insecurity that's showing up? Or what's the control? Are you feeling like you're losing control? So now you're overly controlling. What's the fear that you think something's going to happen? So I kind of hit that triangle, and then that will kind of bring me in.
Got you. And so a lot of things that I was reading, none of it used insecurities as a foundation of self-sabotage. They kept using self-esteem, and I didn't like it because I don't think all self-sabotage is rooted in low self-esteem, right? It's human.
So did they say low self-esteem?
It said low self-esteem.
Okay, got you.
It said low self-esteem. It says it's oftentimes fueled by, like, a lot of different things that I read said fueled by low self-esteem. And I don't buy into that, but I definitely will put a star next to insecurities because everybody lives with insecurities. All of us have these things where we know or we would like to perform a little bit better in, or that thing makes us uncomfortable, or that thing we're not as confident about. But I don't think that I would call it low self-esteem.
Yeah, so I definitely wouldn't call it low self-esteem, but I can see how self-esteem is connected to self-sabotaging, the parameters of low and high and all of that, because even, like you said, we all have insecurities. Insecurities is linked to the way you feel about you and how you're showing up, your worth and things like that. So I can see that the more you may be sabotaging is connected to the way you are feeling about you, right? So it's like, it's self-preservation, but like I said, it's also that underbelly of fearing that I won't look a certain way, that this relationship ending will be an embarrassment, things like that. Or I remember what happened in my last situation and how people viewed me. So you start to question how you see yourself, which is why you start to overly sabotage.
Right. And so then we have what I feel like is the other group. So the first group, the procrastinator, the overthinker, the assumer, the avoider, and the perfectionist, I think that they are kind of like crisscross. This next group, I feel, is more interconnected. The self-protector. So this is the person who, like our example at the beginning, who is, I'm dumping you before you dump me. Because your behavior is telling me that you're going to dump me. This person always has their guard up. This person may, in their mind, know that, okay, this feels good, this looks good, it's not perfect, but then it's like, I'm going to stop it right here because there's a fear. There's a fear that this is going to result in some type of pain.
Exactly.
Emotional pain, mental pain, something. And so we oftentimes limit ourselves in experiences when we have our guard up and when we show up as the self-protector. And then to me, there's the irony again, right? You're guarding yourself, but you're fucking yourself over at the same time, possibly. Right?
But to that person, you don't know that you're really missing out until you've done it, right? So it's like somebody will say, I don't travel, like I don't do that. I could put my money into other things and this and that. they don't know what they're missing out because they haven't done it. So it's like, they don't think that they're fucking themselves over because I never experienced it.
Yeah.
What's the theorist that says I'd rather have loved and hurt than never have loved at all?
I don't know.
So yeah, it's that, right? But it's kind of like, if I won't put myself out there, I don't think I'm missing out, because actually looking at you, other people's relationships,
that shit don't look like it.
Exactly, nothing looks inviting. I used to say that every time I saw somebody. Shout out to he's still my pastor. I don't care, Dr. Bryant. But empowerment ambassadors had a reputation for being fucking nasty. And I remember taking a client to social services one time, and I peeped the ambassador there, and she was nasty. And I kept saying, I'm gonna get her, but I'm gonna wait till this number's called and we handle it. I let the client go to the car, and I went and whispered to her. I said, I cannot wait to send our pastor an email of just how nasty you are. Nothing about you seems inviting to want to be connected to the God I serve. Guys, see you Sunday. Open the door for me. But it's like, same thing. It's like, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
Like, how many Christians just don't look like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to come to your church. I damn sure don't want this marriage. I don't even want to work at that job. So it's like, they really don't know that they're fucking themselves over.
Or even so, I guess, so I do this work-life balance group at my yoga studio, and we were talking last week about the comment was, it's hard to make friends as an adult.
I hear that often.
Right? And they're like, I mean, everybody's on this like no new friends thing. Like, that's
I thought people went, like, I know when Drake brought it out, it was like, oh yeah, we back to that. But I thought people were open to, people are still like no new friends.
When the last time you got a new friend? When's the last time you got a new friend, girl?
I heard I wasn't that social.
What?
I said I was told I'm not that social. But I haven't had a new friend.
Probably since me. And
no, my spiritual life coaching. Like my sisters, yes, they are like, and that was maybe almost 4 years ago, but they locked in. And I'm so proud, like, how locked in. At least 5 of our 17 is like my core. So
you was put in a situation.
But I could have left, like, same thing with undergrad, my master's. I didn't walk away with no friend from my cohort.
It was a different type of experience.
I'm just saying. I was in a predicament and still could have made a choice.
You was online, sis. Like, like, let's just be real. Like, you're not walking away from a process like that without connecting or locking in with somebody. But, nobody's making new friends. I'm trying to think when the last time and do I get to say my yogi sisters?
Yes, because it still was a conscious choice. Yes, it's intense and it is this spiritual journey, but I still could have, we have a group chat. I could just be like, hey. Not like calling and saying like, yo, what's up? How's the kids? How's this? Or even calling when I have a problem. Like that is huge.
So even yes, if I'm being honest, so here's my self-disclosure is I fall in this group.
Self-protecting. I can see
not self-protecting. The next 3 or 4 that we
because you said that they are lumped together.
Yes, I definitely fall in this group. I go into situations and think about it, right? Self-protector. It may not, the guard may not be verbal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am extremely aware that sometimes, because I think I'm the sweetest person.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
But I am aware that sometimes my body language suggests that I'm not. Right. Sometimes my body language suggests, don't talk to me because I'm not going to talk back to you. But then when I do, it's like, oh, you're like a grandma. Like, I'm very nurturing and caring. You know what I mean? But you wouldn't know that. And so it is self-sabotaging for me to walk in a place and look as if you should not talk to me. I was talking to one of my dance mom friends. I have 2 dance mom friends.
And it took only 11 years for you to make dance mom friends.
But the thing that you have to understand.
Oh, so that's new friends. When you was just trying to think of.
I guess, yeah. But the craziest thing is that one of my dance mom friends is also a Gemini, right? And so she's like, the other day we waiting for them to get out of rehearsal. She's like, no new friends. No, and she calls me L. No new friends, L. No new friends. I'm like, girl, yes. Right? She's like, I'm good with this. Right. And when I think about how my connection to these 2 started, when our kids were small and they were only in one class, I would go in, I would sit, I would cut my coupons, and T would talk to me. And if you talk to me, I'll talk back to you, but I'm not initiating the conversation. And she always looked out for Journey, even if she didn't have extreme contact or conversation with me. And then, Rob always spoke, and then somehow I don't talk with y'all 2, and that's it. Like, nobody knows.
That's definitely self-sabotaging, right?
But
you're missing out. You're missing out on.
No, I want to miss out on that. I don't want no parts of that dance mom crew. No parts of it. But it's like I really, and so to be honest, in the dance world, I can be, maybe it's not self-sabotaging, but I could be sabotaging for Journey, because I've been told that the connections is what makes you whatever. We gonna have to work on me in that, because I'm just not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, I made a friend in football through sports. So when you just said that,
you just sound like I have one black friend. Yeah, exactly. Like what? I made a friend. What?
That's why we taking a break from baseball, because I don't never make friends there. But football, it's other loud moms.
You're too aggressive for baseball personalities.
No, but I love seeing Black boys and playing baseball.
So we have the control freak. The control freak.
Tell me more.
The control freak avoids situations where they don't feel like they will be in control. And I believe that's self-sabotaging in your own personal development and growth. If you cannot be in a situation where you don't have control, that's almost like stifling your learning and your development. It reinforces anxiety, and again, it limits your opportunities. And so that might be a relationship, that might be a job, that might be a task. I hear people all the time say, well, nah, I'm not going to do that because I don't like group work.
Oh, that's how we met. Come on. This is how crazy we were. All 3 of us went to the professor and said, I'm just going to do this project by myself. And we didn't hear each other say that. The professor said, announcement, the 3 that requested to do the project alone, you guys are in a group. Everybody else got to pick their group.
That's a psychology. That was like reverse psychology bullshit.
It really was. It really, really was. But yes, the control freak, that is, they are kind of lumped with the other group too, though. I know you said like this core is just, but they interact with, the assumer, the avoider, because it's like, I have to control my environment due to thinking something I observed or something that happened to me directly. I just got to control my environment. I got to control my emotions. So, you meet people, it's like, oh, I'm not going to like him too much. Oh, yeah? How are you going to manage that? Oh, I know how to control. Once I feel it coming on, they don't even realize, once I feel it coming on, I'm going to self-sabotage. Because they'll say, I'm going to start pulling back, or he making me feel too crazy, so I'm not going to call this week. Because we've been talking every day. Self-sabotage it because you're trying to control the emotions or control what's next.
Yeah. I'm in here. I fall in there.
Yeah.
I definitely fall in there. We have the overindulger. This is probably my number one self-sabotaging personality. The overindulger lacks balance and moderation. And so actually, how Sophia said she's in recovery for perfectionism, I'm in recovery for overindulging because I have told myself that I can handle all of these things.
Yeah.
I have told myself that this is just my personality. This is just the way that I operate. And I can be super mom and I can do. Let me tell you what I did yesterday. Yesterday was Wednesday.
Yes.
Dropped the kid off at school. Went to a doctor's appointment. Went to the treatment house. Installed fucking security cameras with a drill, yo.
Oh, wow.
Was outside in East Baltimore slums installing a Ring camera with my fucking drill, right? And in my mind, I'm like, I'm the shit, yo.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. When you do that, it's like, you can't tell me nothing.
Nothing, right? Installed these cameras, got them going. You know I'm not the tech person. Got them going, like, yeah, that's a good angle. We good. Leave. Go to volunteer at the school for sports day out in the hot-ass sun.
Yo, you saw my cartwheels?
I did.
I killed them third graders.
I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it. And so I have to tell you, sports day took me the fuck out. And I was like, you know what? I need to stop being the overindulger. I should have stopped at installing the security cameras yesterday and just took my ass to work and talked to some people.
Yeah.
Right? Because I sabotaged. I was tired as shit when I got home. It was too much.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't realize it. The overindulger doesn't realize it's too much until we're like knee deep in it. And then we want to turn around and we want to swim the other way.
Yeah.
Or we're being nasty. Or
withdrawing, disconnected.
Exactly.
So I would like to support our listeners in seeing that the overindulger can show up not even just in like a lot of tasks, with people overly just committing to, I'll take you here, I'll do your kids here, I'll help you here, I'll lend money, I'll do this, I'll do that for people. That's how I see it a lot with clients, right? And then the self-sabotaging comes in because now that I'm depleted and I need support, now it's like, all these people who I've done for and no one's there for me anymore. So I'm cutting this relationship off. I'm ending how I show up here. I'm creating boundaries. I'm doing all of these things. But really, because you overly indulge, sometimes not even asked, just volunteering yourself. And then when you feel like these people are not showing up the way you expected them or expecting you from other people, now it's the self-sabotaging gets intense.
Yes.
Now you want to cut everybody off, or you're being very extreme. Exactly. So I wanted to paint that picture too, because I feel like a lot of people don't see it. It's you. Nobody asked you to do that. And even if they did, it could have been no, I'm unavailable. I can't decorate your whole baby shower by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I can't throw the baby shower by myself. And then you didn't get the thank you that you felt like you should have gotten. And now, here we go spiraling.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so what it suggests is that you create an all or nothing type of cycle. And you and guilty.
Yes.
Ouch.
Hands up. Yes, exactly. With them people.
Yep.
I'll move the stars and the moon for, and then we'll feel like I'm drowning. And then it's like, no one saved me.
So I'm doing better with moderation in extending myself to other people, even in a work setting, because I would overextend myself with clients, and even to the circumstance of, oh, you sound like you're having an emergency. Yes, I'm going to make myself available. And then I'd feel depleted in the end, or whatever the case is, or friends or family. In those type of situations, I am doing better. I still struggle as a parent. Got this really weird belief that I just can't be moderate in how I show up as a parent. You know, even down to none of the dance moms I know sit through both shows. Right? Some of them volunteer in one show, and then they will sit through the other show. One of my sister's college friends, her daughter goes to dance with Journey, and I love her to death. She listens to us, and she was like, "No, I'm coming to the 1:00 show. I'm getting her some food, and then I'll see her at 9:30 when she get out the second show." Right? And with no anything. And in my mind, I'm like, well, I ain't volunteering because I don't want to. And it's always my claim is always, well, this is my birthday. I'm not doing this. I'm a birthday. But I sit through both shows. Sit through both of them. Buy tickets for both of them. Right? This is the only show I've felt okay with sitting through too.
Yeah, no, it's real.
But no, it's
real.
Think about it. I've told myself I can't, but I could go and do something else for those
within
hours.
3 hours. Yes, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. But it's this piece of when they look in the crowd, when they look off the field, it's like they gotta see me. And times where I'll use ZJ, for example, he'll say, if I travel, and that's another thing, if I travel and it's a game or event, I make sure that someone has to be there who's going to be just as excited about this experience as me. But he's made me feel, now mind you, out of 100 games, if I miss 2, he'll say, yeah, because I remember that time you wasn't there on the February 13th game. And I'm like, so now, like, you definitely can't miss another one. So I am too.
I still have
see
to
how I overindulge, and it is self-sabotaging because I feel tired. I'm annoyed sitting in the sun for baseball is just long too. So it's like, but even if it was an hour, like that's not what I wanted to do today. Like, that I didn't honor myself. So yeah, that's a good one with them children. And pay attention to any relationship. It might be our children, but see if it's your mother, you know, that grandmother who's been praying for you, took care of you when your parents wasn't there. And it's like, how has that been self-sabotaging that you just overly indulge? Yeah.
Our last personality is the self-critic. And this person, I love the way they said this. This person ignores positive evidence.
Yeah.
I sometimes
they gotta seek the evidence to support the belief that they hold, right? So yeah.
And so, but you know, we often say negative self-talk. You're focusing on the negative, but the ignoring positive evidence. That's what it is for me, because it's almost like, and when I talk to people who tend to be, who tend to gravitate to the negative, it's hard for them to come up with the positive. Or I've heard people say, well, am I just trying to lie to myself? Right? It takes a lot of energy. And I have a lot of clients who I've been seeing for a long time. And most of them, it took me a long time to almost train them to start with the positive. Every session, every client, what's going good? It doesn't matter how small it is. And sometimes it's a push to, well, nothing is good this week. Something is good this week. You got your hair done. Your hair looks good to me. What's happening here? Oh, well, yeah, that is true. How's that coffee? Because that Starbucks, you can still afford it. Sounds good to me, right? And it's like, oh, well, you just trying to like, again, you're trying to like lie to yourself. No. Acknowledge the positive. Nobody's saying ignore the negative. I'm not saying ignore the negative. It's going to be there. I love my house, right? everybody keeps asking me, how are you enjoying your home? How you feel about that mortgage payment? And I'm like, best motherfucking money I spent all year, right? Love it.
Yeah.
I can't ignore the fact that I hate that it's not together the way I want it, as much as I love it. So I just focus on the positives of the experience.
It doesn't mean that you're not going to attend to the things that you don't like. That's the hard part.
That is the hard
for
part.
people to grasp. Like, no one's saying ignore what isn't going well.
Or what you want to improve, or what you would like to be different. Some people say, well, I need to start with the positives, because we give so much energy to the negative. We give a lot of energy to the negative. I could come and I could say, damn, Soph, I like this ponytail. Yeah, but I ain't laid my edges.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You got a nice ponytail. Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying?
And that's a perfect example for people to see if you fall here. Are you that person when someone tries to point something out positive? It's like, oh, this cheap thing. Oh, it's like, oh, I hated it.
Oh, you look good. You lost some weight. Yeah, but I just still can't get this last 10 pounds off.
Let's just receive, oh, thank you.
I've been working hard. Oh, I
thank you for noticing.
Myself.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't mean that you're still not working on losing those 10 pounds, but stay into that, because you rob yourself of your success.
You rob yourself of just feeling good.
Exactly.
Like,
what the hell? You really are robbing you, because life is intense, heavy, dark. You know, that whole thing that was happening, you know, with Canada. And I told my sister, I was like, get in the car and come this way. I said, they saying it's going to come this way. But in the meantime, like, that was scary. But in the same breath, it was like, my boy is graduating, you know, like, focus on that. And here at the graduation, I see people on their phones and they got the picture up and they responded. And then I chose not to engage. Like, even my row, it was 8 of us in a row, and you just saw them phones. Like, look at this. I was like, like, I didn't even call my sister until I was in the car by myself. Like, I just didn't want to have that where I just lost being present. You know, like, I'm not going to get this. This is his first graduation since kindergarten, because 5th grade was COVID, you know? So it was like, be present in this. I didn't want to rob myself that joy.
We need to do a whole conversation on just being present, because it's very difficult in 20 today. And so, just kind of as a recap, and so self-sabotaging is doing the things that are counterproductive to your ultimate goal. Let's keep it very simple, right? A lot of times we don't do it on purpose. A lot of times we're not thinking about it. But as we always talk about in our episodes, we're going to increase awareness here. If we give you nothing else, we will give you the gift of self-awareness.
Yes.
And sometimes we still show up as our 1995 selves, and that's okay, right? And so we have the procrastinator, the perfectionist, the overthinker, the assumer, the avoider, the self-protector, the control freak, the overindulger, and the self-critic. And so what we've kind of been mixing in our takeaways. For me, I guess the thing that I wanna leave the listeners with is, if we don't take risk, we risk not blowing up. Whatever that means to you, right? Whether that's blowing up in your career, whether that's blowing up in your relationship, blowing up as a parent, as a person, you gotta take risk, right? Doesn't mean you have to be irresponsibly risky, right? That's a whole different category. But go out on a limb. Whatever that might look like to you. That might just look like, the limb may be giving someone your phone number. The limb may be applying to this job that you have told yourself you don't qualify for, right? Volunteering at your kid's school when Fourth graders are annoying as shit, right? Go out on the limb. Do something.
Yeah, because ultimately, this is what I remind myself and even share with clients at times. We take risks anyway. Automobile accidents is always teetering between the first and second of deaths.
Cause of death. Mm-hmm.
And you get in a vehicle to go somewhere, even if mass transportation, you get on that bus, you get on that light rail or something, you take risks, right? So it's not that we don't take any risks at all. When you think about it, you do. We eat food that we don't know if it's been genetically altered. We don't know where this stuff, even down to something saying organic. It's like, I don't know, but you do, right? You eat it. Vaccinations, we don't know any of this stuff, right? You take risks anyway. So why not take risks that feels good for you, for your personal development, for just your enjoyment of life? We don't know how long we're going to be here. Mm-hmm. So it's like, just kind of shift. Instead of saying, oh, I don't take risks, I say, well, you took a risk getting here today. You could have got locked in the elevator. Like, all these things could have happened in this day. So just be a participant in your life. Just take these risks.
Stop being a bystander.
Exactly. Fear is really just false evidence appearing real. It's really not even the case. When you ask someone, what's the worst thing you think is going to happen by you having this tough conversation, or saying, I like this guy, or I like this woman, and I'm going to push up. What's the worst thing? And when people say what the worst thing is, it's like, you're going to die? Exactly. Is that really your number 10?
Yeah.
When you think about it, it's like, I do this thing with clients, even with my kids, like, what's your 1 and what's your 10?
Mm-hmm.
Your 10, a lot of times people say something happened to my child, or somebody happened to something significant. So it's like, so where would you put this
particular thing?
And they'll be like, probably a 2. Okay, what are we doing here? You're 10. Think about what like you're 10. Exactly.
Everything's a 10.
Exactly. Like, that's my takeaway. Start kind of just scaling things. Yeah. Become your own junior therapist with you at times, where it's like, I'm sabotaging because of what? This is really not even a 5 when you think about what your 10 is.
Yeah. So let's flourish. Let's develop. Let's get big out here, and bright. And the only way that we can do that is if we manage our self-sabotaging behaviors just a little bit more. We're not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's never going to be totally absent. We just want to manage it a little bit better.
Mind your mind.
All right.
Just mind your mind. What's your thoughts that you're holding about yourself, about love, about the past? Like, just mind what you are thinking all day. Come on, challenge them thoughts so that they don't turn into beliefs.
I like it. Yo, I can't wait until we have like a talk show and we can wear like cute stuff.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I was about to say, because we thinking we cute now.
Because I feel like we can have like a talk show.
Yeah, me
like
too.
A whole talk show.
Me too.
One day. We putting it out there. This is good.
Yes. Follow us on Instagram at Real Therapist, Facebook, Real Therapist. Yo, it's not hard to find us.
It's not hard to find us. Wherever you would like to find us,
Real
Therapist.
Exactly.
Please, what I am saying, y'all showed up a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Our subscribers have increased significantly.
Subscribe, comment below.
Like, tell your friends to subscribe.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes. And so, until next time,
take care of you.
Peace.